Hey guys, welcome back to Foodie Fest. I'm your host, Kristina, and right now we're in New York City at the famous Halal Guys. Charlie Sheen's fans left Radio City Musical booing Friday night at what they say was a very disappointing performance by the troubled star. The Violent Torpedo of Truth tour originally sold out in 18 minutes, kicked off last week in Detroit to a less than friendly audience. Mayor Bloomberg enacted a ban on smoking in public plazas, city parks, beaches, and boardwalks. The administration says the law protects people from the dangerous effects of secondhand smoke. City officials will rely on signs and social pressure rather than active enforcement, but those who break the law may face fines of up to $50. The number and quality of bike paths in New York City are increasing every year, with bike rental stores popping up all over the city and bike lanes that could take you from east to west and north to south. Cycling might be the answer to an environmentally friendly New York. There are tons of food vendors in New York City, so we're here to find out what makes these guys so special. So it looks like you've been waiting in line for a while now. Tell me, what makes this truck worth the wait?
Well, the food here is always better because it's always fresher. There are a lot of other trucks that have food like this, but this one is just the busiest, so it's always better.
You heard that. The fresher, the better. So what do you think makes this food so special?
It has to be the quality, these awesome guys, of course the white sauce.
The white sauce?
The white sauce.
Can I try some?
Absolutely, sure.
That is delicious. The new reality series, Extreme Couponing, shows us how for some, trying to save money in this difficult economy is a competitive sport. By stacking multiple coupons, one woman bought $1,100 worth of groceries for 40 bucks. The other one walked away with the store paying her. If you think you're working yourself to death, you might be right. A recent study concluded that people who work an average of 11 or more hours a day have a 67% higher risk of suffering a heart attack or dying from heart disease than those who work a standard 7 or 8 hour day. John Belitsky and Dan Wubin made an unimaginable journey last week in a yellow cab. Belitsky, an investment banker from Leonia, New Jersey, and his friend from Astoria, Queens, hatched up the idea at Wubin's birthday party.
You were a former New York City cab driver. How many years?
Belitsky wanted to prove his father wrong. The former city cab driver said no cabbie would take them cross-country.
I've never seen the vast majority of this country.
The two men first offered the cab driver $4,000. He countered with $5,000. They said, let's go. The only catch? They had to leave right away. The driver, Muhammad Alan, said his family was initially upset about the cross-country trip.
Call my wife. She just cry.
The two men and their cabbie began their 3,000-mile journey at LaGuardia Airport. Although the trip took longer than the expected 3 to 4 days, all three say it was well worth it.
It's very different from what I thought it was going to be, and it's amazing.
I see the Chicago, I see Grand Canyon.
It was a once-in-a-lifetime trip. Belitsky and Wubin documented all their adventures and planned to write a book or pitch a movie deal. And Alan visited Universal Studios for the first time, a lifelong wish.
It was my dream.
The $5,000 trip would normally have cost $17,000 on the meter. What a steal. In Manhattan, Kristina, News 13.